Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
And
Shalom.
Moedim L'Simcha. Welcome to Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center, the convertible version. We're out in the stars here. We got the top down. We're really grateful. We thought it'd be really nice because we had a nice dinner in the sukkah a minute ago. We didn't want to go too far, and we thought, okay, this is a time where we're supposed to be out in the open air, and God bless many of you who remembered to layer this time of year in your dress. I was born hot, so I'll be fine. Sun's out, guns out, you know what I'm saying? So we're just really grateful that you're all here to celebrate Shabbat with us as we begin to end our holiday season with, after Shabbat, then Sunday night we begin Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah. And you'll notice something a little different this evening. If it's okay with you, the service is going to be a little shorter, because when we are in Shabbat Chol Hamoed Sukkot, that's the Shabbat that falls in the middle of Sukkot, we don't do Kabbalat Shabbat because we're already in a kind of time of holiness, as we just ate in the Sukkah. So we'll have, we started with Shalom Aleichem. In a moment, we'll light candles. All right, then. I guess I better go faster. That's my time, everybody. So in a moment, I'll ask people to come say the blessing over the candles, which we have back here, and then we'll go to sort of the end of what we normally do in Kabbalat Shabbat, which is the Psalm for Shabbat. And then I'll share a little bit of Torah, and just so I remember what to say, I have a little clip here to remind me. And then we'll go into Ma'ariv, and hopefully you'll stick around for Kiddush and Oneg, and we're just glad you're here. So as I mentioned before, we have some candles that are lit back here, but they haven't had blessings said over them. So I was hoping Susie and whoever you can convince to come with you. All right, Sheila's going to join too. Great.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Beautifully done. Hey. So as I said before, in a moment we're going to continue on page 23. Is it 23? Is that right, or is it Psalm 23? No, it's Psalm 92, but it's on page 23.
Yes.
So Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי יסוד ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, ועולם קומת שבותיך. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, ועולם כמו מחשבותיך. יא אליי, 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 יא אליי, יא אליי, יא אליי, 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 יא אליי, יא אליי, 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 יא אליי, יא אליי, אליי, יא אליי. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך
Once again, Shabbat Shalom. Just want to
Shabbat.
share a few words of Torah about this particular Shabbat and this particular time of year. David's not here anymore, is he? Might be David's bedtime. I was kind of hoping David would be here, but it's okay. I'll tell you. It's Melissa. Amen. It's Melissa's bedtime. But I was hoping David would be here because I was going to give him a pop quiz on blessings. I bet that kid knows a lot of blessings because this is a blessing time of year. We're blessed with little clips that remind us of where we keep our sermons, for example. So I'll say a little bit more about these clips in a second. But there was a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, was reminding me about a particular bracha that is a testament to the fact that in Jewish thought and in Jewish spirit, we can elevate anything. Like the most human thing we can make holy. The most human activity, the most mundane activity, this is when the students often learn in the Intro to Judaism class, like the one that starts in about a week and a half, if anybody hasn't signed up yet, is that even the things that we do, like eating, the very basic things of metabolism, we can elevate by being mindful of them, by choosing our food carefully, by preparing our food carefully, by stopping before we eat and acknowledging where it comes from. And this is what I wanted to ask David. We even have a prayer for going to the bathroom. Does everybody know that? Am I the only one who didn't know that? What's that? Yeah. They usually put it out because you don't put prayers in the bathroom. They put it right outside. You wash your hands and you get a share. What was it called? I thought I heard it. It's like a Sher Yatzar, is sort of the shorthand for it. We bless the one who fashions. And it turns out it's beautiful. Because what it says, it doesn't, talk about the specifics of the bathroom, but it says like, we bless the one who created our bodies with such complexity. And this is my favorite word, with openings that open and closings that close. Right? Which seems really trivial, which seems really mundane, but then it recognizes, because if it didn't, because if the openings closed and the closings opened, we couldn't live. So it takes that most basic root activity of metabolism and gives us pause to realize what a miracle our bodies are, even when they're not. Because that reminds me of probably some of the most precious Torah to me that I've ever learned. I learned it from Rabbi Ed Feinstein, who himself is a cancer survivor. And he talked about how, our bodies let us down sometimes. And he taught me that, when we're born, we get these two gifts. One is a soul that is made of the stuff of heaven, which means it's eternal. And one is the body, which, as Rabbi Feinstein most eloquently put it, is made of stuff, right? It's made of matter. And stuff breaks. But the trick is, without that matter, where would our souls go? How would our souls do mitzvahs? Right? We couldn't. We couldn't act in the world. So as disappointing as our stuff is sometimes, whether it's things that are happening to us, disappointed because other people's bodies are letting them down, people that we love, if it weren't for that stuff, if it weren't for the openings that open mostly, our souls couldn't interact with each other and lift each other up. And not for nothing, I have this clip here because this is, we're calling it Pink Shabbat. When I say we, I mean like a good portion of the Jewish world right now is partnering with this organization called Sharsheret, which is a Jewish organization that supports people, not women, not only women, but people who are dealing with breast cancer. And this is close to home here for a lot of us. And so, of course, we wanted to partner with them. And that's why we have all these materials on the tables. We've got the chip clips, which I'm very grateful for. The whole keeps challah fresh until approximately Sunday afternoon when it's gone in my house. And I also want to recognize that while we are partnering with Sharsheret for this, I am probably the least qualified person here to talk about it. Like, we have more qualified people who have dealt with breast cancer, who are currently dealing with breast cancer. And Rabbi Amy, who is at home resting, as she should be, gave me some words to say because I wanted it to be her words. And so I'm going to share a few of those words with you, and then I'll conclude. So she said, just so you know, Rabbi Carey. She doesn't call me Rabbi Carey. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, 1 in 72 with ovarian cancer. In this congregation, so many women have reached out since we've been, especially since we've been partnering with Sharsheret, so many women have reached out with their stories. 1 in 8 means that all of us will absolutely know someone with breast cancer at some point. And then she puts in parentheses, surprise, you already do, smiley face. 1 in 1,000 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And yes, there's been a male member of our congregation who had it as well. 1 in 40 Ashkenazi Jews carries a BRCA gene mutation. 1 in 400, that's 1 in 40, which is 10 times more frequent than the general population. Thanks to centuries of endogamy, Jews marrying Jews, we have IBS, myopia, and the BRCA mutation. Sephardi Jews may also be predisposed to breast and ovarian cancer. This stat makes breast and ovarian cancer very much a Jewish issue. And both men and women can be carriers of the BRCA gene. Therefore, genetic testing is extremely, extremely, extremely important. And this group, Sharsheret, who shared this information with us here, offers one-on-one support with genetic counselors and peer counselors, beauty products, social workers and therapists, webinars, outreach to college campuses, medical professional trainings, community actions like fun run races and B'nai Mitzvah projects and other volunteer opportunities. And those are the bullet points, but this is the part that kind of hit home for me. Whenever I am she says, whenever I am too tired to function and having crazy side effects, or I'm just feeling really, and I'll air quote this, feeling really cancery in general, I sing the Debbie Friedman version of Asher Yatzar. I also sang it while I was in labor with both kids. The human body is truly a wonder and often hilarious, her words. and for me is proof of God's existence. Asher Yitzhar helps me visualize the parts of my body that are working to keep me going so that I can continue to be a family member, a rabbi educator, and a human being. And I think it's actually really beautiful that we're marking this Pink Shabbat with so many other congregations on Sukkot. Because if you need to be reminded of anything fragile, frail, temporary, it's a sukkah. Like they say, if your sukkah is too stable, you're doing it wrong. For me, the greatest lesson of the sukkah is that just because our vessels, be they vessels for living in like a home or living in like a body, just because those vessels are temporary, just because those vessels let in a little rain, just because we won't have them as long as we want to, doesn't mean that we can't fill them with the people that we love and the life that we cherish. And so as we close this holiday of Sukkot, and who knows if it'll make it, we may be holding it up by the end of it. Let's remember that we could take these temporary vessels and we can hold them up when they need holding, and we could fill them with so much celebration. So I wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a Modim L'Simcha. And thank you for being here at PJTC. We're going to continue our Ma'ariv service this evening on page 28. Page 28. We rise in all the ways you're able for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Yehovah. Baruch Adonai Mevorach leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים את תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
May be seated if you wish. We move from blessing God, from illuminating our lives, to blessing God for the constancy of God's love. Ahavat Olam on page 29.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו, וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך היו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך והים שם
Bottom of page 30. We can continue together at the top of page 31. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem v'asu lehem tzitzit al kanfei bidehem menorotam v'nanu al tzitzit hakanaf v'til techelet v'haya lechem letzitzit uritem oto uzkartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam Velo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei nechem asher atem zonim achareihem leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelochechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher chotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lechem Elohim ani
אדוני אלוהיכם
Adonai Elohechem. Amen. Page 32, page 32.
Adonis, משה ומרים וכולם זאבי ענו ואמרו זאלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם לעולם העד אדוני ימלוך לעולם לעולם העד. Together. Yalla lai 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 lai. Yalla lai 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 lai. Yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai. Yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai. Yalla lai lai. מלכותך רבניך בוקיים לפני משה ומרים זלינו ואמרו אדוני המלך העולם ונאמר כי פדה אדוני יעקב הוגה לו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Page 33, Hashkivenu.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור את צאתנו ואוהבינו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. שלום 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 שלום. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים.
Page 34. 34.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. אוי 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. שבת וינפש. יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה, ועלמא דברה קירותה וימליך מלכותה, וחייכון יום נכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה, ובזמן קריב וימרו,
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה.
Yibarach.
יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה.
Rihu.
לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, להמירנה בעלמה ויברוך.
Amen. We rise for the personal Amidah for Shabbat evening, page 35B, page 35B. Don't forget any additions for Shmini Atzeret.
You רצון, דברי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, צורי וגואלי, אמן. Together. עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, אמן, אמן. עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. ועל כל יושבי תבל, amen.
Include the Amidah on page 48, page 48. Kaddish Shalem.
יתקנל ויתקנל שמר רפא,
Amen.
ואלמדי ולאחריתו ימליך מלכותו, וחי יכונו ממכון ובחי תכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו.
Amen.
יהא שמי רבא מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה.
Yitbarach.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי ידי קודשה.
Rihu.
לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בלמה וימרו.
Amen.
תתקבל צלות ונואותון לכל ישראל קודם ובון דבשמיא וימרו.
Amen.
יהי שלום הרע משמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו.
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל וימרו.
Amen. We should go to Elenu soon. I heard a sound up in the clouds, and I hope it was an airplane, because we don't pray for rain until Monday. So we're going to rise for Elenu on page 51. Page 51.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו גילויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. על כן נקבל לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות מנה ותפארת עוזך להעביר בינו למנהרה. כי המלכות שלך היא, ולעולמי עד תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב את תורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו ושמו ושמו
Before we conclude our service, it's important to honor those who are no longer with us. This week at PJTC, we're marking the Yahrzeit, and it is the anniversaries of the passing of Florence Aderhold, Marshall Alper, B. Beyer, Therese Beller, Lori Minovitz Brandsetter, Leo Cohen, Jan Commerce, Alexander David, Arnold Davidson, Charles Dixon, Louis Donner, Dorothy Fabish, Sherman Feinsilver, Margarita Fisher, Louis Gann, Bertha Goldman, Rhea Goodwin, Ida Gordon, April Hagan, Margaret Hochschild, Faye Katz, Sidney Kirshen, Samuel Kligfeld, Howard Crackman, Charles Liebman, Esther Masty, Meta Mendel, Craig Mendelson, Murray Morrow, Melinda Mulvaney, Noam Parker, Kenneth Pratt, Albert Raisman, Aaron Rosenberg, Maurice Sauls, Linda Gale Scanlon, John Dietrich Schroeder, Seymour Spar, Stanley Robert Svanken, Hi Vigo, Millie Werner, Rosalind Wynn, and Tavus Yanesi. If there are any other names you'd like to lift up in honor, please say those names out loud or hold them in your heart wherever you are. And if anyone is in mourning for anyone or observing a Yahrzeit, please rise, and we'll pray the Kadisha Tome with you on page 52, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemay Rabah,
Amen.
Balma, Dibra, Kirute, Viamlik, Malchute, Bachayechon, Uviamechon, Uchaye, the Chol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Uvizman, Kariv, Vimru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Almei Almaya, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Vipa'ar, Yitramam, Vitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei Dekudsha, Richu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, v'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. You may be seated for a very few, very brief but meaningful announcements. First off, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Moadom, Moadom. That's the dining hall, right? The Moadom. Moadom the Simcha, the joyful dining hall. Happy Sukkot, everybody. So we still have some wonderful holiday things that are going on that I want to make sure you know about. Let's see, we have services tomorrow. It's still Shabbos at 9:30 tomorrow, and then some. And then on Sunday morning, we have, along with our religious school, we're continuing our wonderful Sunday Center where we have exercise classes and some Torah study with me and all sorts of great stuff that's going on here. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please do. And then something, what else is happening this week? Shmini Atzeret, we've got to pray for rain. Monday. Shmini Atzeret, we have services on Monday morning at 9:30. We are not having a Simchat Torah event on Monday night, but we're doing it on Tuesday night to kind of match the rhythm of some of our young families here. We're doing it on Tuesday night and later on in Simchat Torah. So we're having Simchat Torah services at 9:30 on Tuesday morning, and then we're having all of our Hakafot and festivities on Tuesday night right out here, where there'll be we'll start off with dinner over there, and then we'll have we'll unroll the entire Torah scroll and have some readers coming through to read through the scroll, and maybe a little tour of the Torah if you've never seen one unrolled the whole way. So that's always a treat. And then after that, we'll have some Hakafot and just keep on dancing, because we have a DJ coming for a dance party with the young people and the young at heart people and anybody else too. So hope you'll join us for all those things, for all the wonderful things. Make sure you read your emails from us. They're very important, and they have lots of fun things in them. So with that, I think we're going to close our service the way we began it, and that's in song. And should we stand up for this one?
Yes, let's do so.
Get the blood going if you're able to. And then stick around for Kiddush, would you?
Let's put an announcement. They're
Here we
over
have
there. Make sure you have your drink of choice. Either way is fine.
As they say, limoncello before wine, you're doing fine.
Oh, yeah, I actually, that was good. Okay, let's join together. ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. Together, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחיל לנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תפילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. Together. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל עמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים. I'm the substitute one
Yes,
today.
due to a freak chicken soup accident, Cantaloupe will be doing, we'll be doing,
I'm gonna do maybe like a dime. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על נטילת ידיים.
Amen.
And last but not least, holla! Let's join together. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ בתיאבון. Shabbat shalom everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning.